Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while a nigga here, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, get it back when we done. Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while a nigga here, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, get it back when we done. I'll get it back when we done. 10,000 hands in the air, have you ever seen? Work 9 to 5 or 5 to 9, do you ever dream? They in the red, but my stalk is green. Proud like I reached the clouds, all off a beam. Dreams on lucid, films on Lucas, sound on surround, and the crowd on stupid. Who that chick Dion? That's Dion on Clueless. You circling around the money, sitting in a Cuban car. Field of dreams, they said I'm too corny. Funny, I got their ears all on me, fears all gone, and my peers all wrong. So keep your 2 cents in every phrase y'all coining. That's just common sense, all the hating, I honored it. I don't leap, I quantum it. I don't answer, I problem it. I just drop shit while they asking what a colonic is. Pinky, you know what I'm pondering? Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while a nigga here, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, get it back when we done. Not everybody lives, but everybody dies. So while a nigga here, I'm shooting for the sky, landing on the moon, walking on the sun, taking over the game, get it back when we done. I'll get it back when we done.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans stand up. Hopefully everyone's having a good Friday. You know, I was kind of doing some things, doing some work around the house, just chilling a little bit, and I said, this ain't gonna cut it. Let's get to work and let's talk to Cowboys Nation. So we had to go live. And as I told y'all, when we go live, it's going to be studio moving forward. I almost pulled out the iPhone and went live like, nah, bro, we have to get in the studio and talk about things this offseason, because I know Cowboys Nation is cranked up to the max. And I see the whole gang is in the building. I see my guy Sean in the building. Oh, yeah. I got the chat working now. I see my dog Lou Takes is in the building. I see my guy Marcus is in the building. JV's in the building. The whole gang is here in the building. Yeah, we up and running. Got the chat moving again. And I know yesterday, you know, my members, they kind of got on me for posting a bunch of these in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Posting a bunch of Mike McCarthy's in the chat. Y'all like, damn, Tuck. You know what I'm saying? Got some Mike McCarthy's in the chat. You got to get rid of Mike. All right. Mike is gone. So now we moving on to the shiesties. So all my members, y'all got brand new emotes there. You know, you got the shiesties in there. What else we got? We got Ski Mask Jerry. Ready to go, CFO gang. You know what I'm saying? We locked in. We locked and loaded. We got locked and loaded. All new emotes have been built into the chat. Look at Dancing Jerry. All sorts of stuff, man. So we about to have some fun this year. Got everything built up. So I had to get Mike McCarthy up out of it, man. One last time for Mike. One last time for Mike McCarthy before we put my dog to rest. But it's all about shoddy season right now, man. So if you want to become a member, sign up. It's only $5. I checked it. It's $5. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do a lot of different things for our members. Also have special tiering. Also, a lot of people's been asking, like, yo, Tuck, sports bets, where your sports bets at and all that, right? So I'm going to start just giving sports bets to the members. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start locking in the sports bets to the members only. So if y'all want the sports bets, I will post them in the community tab. Members only. Like I said, it's only $5. I ain't trying to get rich off of y'all. But yeah, we going to get this thing moving and grooving. My sis Sadiq is here, right? So perfect. Just perfect, sis. Perfect segue. So you see my girl sis Sadiq, right? She has that gold emoji by her name. That means she is qualified CFO gang. You know what I'm saying? She has been CFO gang for over a year. So if you're CFO gang for over a year and a member for over a year, you'll get that gold emoji. You'll start off as white. I think you move up to green, to blue, to red, to black, right? and then Gold, right? Sister Dick is Gold. She's a Gold member. One of my favorite movies. Gold member. I love Gold. Shagadelic. Speaking of movies, went and saw Ballerina last night after I got off the live with y'all. Fire movie. If you like just blowing shit up, shooting shit, that's the movie for you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no need for no plot. Ain't no need for no backstory. It was straight to the point yesterday when it came to Ballerina. You know what I'm saying? First scene, just out the gate, let's just start shooting. You know what I'm saying? So definitely love the movie. I saw it in laser, but I probably want to go back and see it in IMAX because I wanted to hear the explosions and bullets. It wasn't the same in laser, but overall, good movie for all my John Wick fans out there who like just good old-fashioned action. But I want to talk about a few things today. We'll turn on the phone lines, of course. We got that all set up, but I want to talk about the running back room. This offseason, we've heard a lot, right? We went through the breakdown of Connor Riley, and we talked about Clayton Adams, right? And also Brian Schottenheimer. But you can talk about the run game as much as you want, right? But if you ain't got the horses in the stable, it just isn't going to work out. And I know there's been intense conversations online, whether it's with, my dog, DMV. I know Lou's been a part of it as well, and so many others, Boss Cowboy, about Nick Chubb. Personally, I would like to bring in Nick Chubb. But will the Cowboys do it? Probably not yet, right? Probably not yet as they gear up for camp. So I think today we'll spend some time kind of looking at some running back options, talk about who could possibly be in the fold, and then we'll turn the phone lines and just rock on out. But y'all know how we do. We just going to vibe on a Friday. We're going to vibe on a Friday. I got my water, you know what I'm saying? Got my water, you know what I'm saying? No more Calvaritas, no more Ciroc. I ain't drinking no more Diddy juice, pause if you will. But just drinking some pure water on a Friday night, getting ready to vibe and enjoy my weekend. Like I said, for all my members out there, got your emotes, you know what I'm saying? Got your emotes, let them rip, you know what I'm saying? And we got the Jerrys and the Shiesties, you know what I'm saying? Shoot the Jerry, ski mash Jerry. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so when it comes to Dallas Cowboys, all right, this is what we're looking at when it comes to our running back room, okay? I feel like as of right now, you'll probably have Javonte Williams as your lead dog. All right. Now, if I had to bet my money who was going to be RB2, I would probably say it's going to be Jadon Blue. Damn it, Tuck, there you go rapping. Oh, rapping ass Tuck. If I had to guess who's going to be RB2, it is probably going to be Jadon Blue. Bars, right, out of Texas. But he still has to earn it, right? Like I said, we don't want to just anoint these players. We want them to earn their opportunity. But I feel like Javonte is going to be your power back, but we'll talk about it here in a second when we get into the statistics. Is he just that, right? I know DMV's had this conversation. Professor O's had this conversation about his utilization, how he was utilized in Denver. Is he a power brute force back, or is he more of a balance back? Me personally, I think Lou, didn't you do a show on this? I think you did a show on this as well with DMV, right? I think he's more of a balance back versus one way or another. But when it comes to Jadon Blue, I think he's definitely going to be the guy that's going to get a lot of Cowboys fans excited. We kind of missed it. And it's funny, right? I think back to last year, going to that draft, a lot of people were, hey, yeah, Lou and DMV did a show on that. Yeah, so go check that out. She's on the channel. Right? Go follow my dog, Lou Takes. What are y'all doing? All right, anyways. But yeah, I feel like when it comes to Jadon Blue, a lot of Cowboys fans are going to be excited, rightfully so. The speed, the burst. We've done film sessions on the channel for all of these guys, right? Javonte, from Jadon to Phil. Didn't do Miles Sanders, but but it's funny how last year, y'all remember when we were doing draft content talking about the running back position, everybody wanted a big, powerful back, right? It was the Braylon Allens. I remember bringing up Oh shit, what was his name? Coming out of Michigan. Y'all know. The kid came out of Michigan. A lot of people are comparing him to Deuce, right? He was too small. So last year, everybody wanted the power runners, the power back in Dallas, because we missed out on Derrick Henry. So everybody wanted the big brute. Now, did they do that? They brought Ezekiel Elliott back. That didn't work out, that whole ordeal. You know, I feel like when it came to Rico, yeah, Blake Corum, duh, right? Blake Corum. Like Blake, I remember I did a Blake Corum film session and everybody was like, he's too small. He's too small. I'm like, he's not that small, bro. All right, cool, whatever. But I feel like when it's Rico, he was more of a balance attack, right? And then you had Deuce, you had Hunter, you had Dalvin Cook, you know, but our running back room just really wasn't complete last year, okay? So we brought in Javonte Williams, first day of free agency. Got to give credit where credit is due. First day of free agency, you know, and they made him at the buzzer, bringing in Javonte Williams, Jadon Blue. So I feel like right now, if I had to put my money on our 1-2 punch, it would be Javonte and Jadon Blue, right? Hunter Luepke probably be your fullback. Brian Schottenheimer likes fullbacks. I know Mike McCarthy did as well. So I think that Hunter Luepke will definitely be in a play as well. And then this is where the conversation picks up. So you have, you know, it's funny, right? And you got Bucky and now RJ all on the small side too, but Deuce another level with it. It's funny because I could not remember where we did Bucky Irving film, right? And I was like, Tuck, I know we broke down film on Bucky Irving. And I was like, I could not find it on the channel. Well, I found it today. I remember we did Bucky Irving film when we did our scouting academy class together, our Wizard Academy, right? When I was teaching y'all how to scout and we went through film. So I'm going to make that video public now because it's old, right? And that kind of shows the process of what we do. Because I think that was for members only. But I found it, I was like, bro, I know that we broke down Bucky Irving, but it was for members only. But yeah, Bucky, like, yeah, but Deuce is a little bit undersized, right? But now the conversations comes down to who is going to win the other job, right? RB3. RB3. And I feel like Deuce has had the opportunity to prove himself, but just not in the regular season. You know, he's flashed at camp, he's flashed at preseason, but just in the regular season when it really matters, he really hasn't shown much, okay? A lot of people in Cowboys Nation coins Phil Maffa as the heir apparent to Emmitt Smith. Hey, if you like it, I love it, right? You know? But I've done the Phil Maffa film session, did the breakdown on the channel, definitely check that out as well. You know, I feel like Phil Maffa is a solid, durable power back, not too elusive, right? Doesn't really have the burst, not really shifty, but he's a guy who's going to be a downhill avalanche. And so if you're looking for that type of runner, that could possibly be Phil Maffa. But if I had to gauge it, who I would have at that position over him, it would definitely be Javonte Williams when it comes to J-Dub. And then you have Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is kind of a dark horse. Now, we all know what Miles did that 2022 year that he had when he was in Philly, you know. So Miles Sanders, you know, he's not old. He's only 28 years old. So it's not like he's old and washed, you know, when it comes to Miles Sanders. When you look at statistics last year, in the last few years, just being in Carolina, of course, it really hasn't looked attractive. So I can see why people would kind of just poo-poo all on Miles Sanders. But there has been some conversations. And once again, they haven't put no pads on, right? I haven't put no pads on, right? But there has been some conversations that Miles Sanders has looked well at OTAs, right? OTAs. So, you know, we have to have this conversation, Cowboys Nation. They're not going to go out there with the all unproven team at running back. So people are like, oh, Deuce and Jadon and Phil Maffa. I get that people like youth at the running back position and all that sort. They're going to keep some veterans around for pass pro, right? just for, being aware and being able to handle a 17-game season, veteran leadership. So there are going to be some veterans, right? I know people that, Javonte and Miles are not going to make no. Miles, we can talk about it, right? But Javonte, barring injury, he is probably the guy that you should coin being your RB1. There's a lot of fantasy football players out there. Probably for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, he'll probably be your definitive RB1 when it comes to Javonte Williams, right? But after that, it opens up, right? I think that initially you could possibly see it being Miles Sanders, or unless Jadon Blue just sparks, right? Unless Jadon Blue is just undeniable, where we're all saying, then he'll probably work his way in there. But I think it might be a situation where it's going to be a slow play, right? I think it's going to be a situation where it might be a slow play, where it might start off as J-Dub and Miles, and then around week 4, week 5-ish, maybe that's when Jadon Blue really takes the reins, unless he just has the wow factor in preseason. My guy Ty Church says, everyone said they don't care if running back can block, but does everyone know how Tony Romo got his injuries the first time? Yeah, you're gonna need a running back in pass pro, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need a running back in pass pro. So yeah. So it's we don't need running backs that can block. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you really have question marks when it comes to your offensive line. You damn sure better have someone that can pick up some blitzes, Let's see here. Tuck, you gonna do a show on Ferg? Yes. Y'all know, Sean, we ain't gonna go the whole summer out talking about the tight end position. You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about the tight end position, and we're gonna have a deep conversation about that, because last year. Blue got to be a better pass blocker. Yeah, Blue has some growing to do, y'all. And I know people don't want to think about that or hear that, but he has some growing to do. Right? He has to hold on to that damn ball. The quickest way to lose your job is to go out there rumbling, fumbling, stumbling, right? So he has some work to do there. But like I was saying, y'all, I also feel like when it comes down to it, Javonte is going to probably be RB1, right? And you might have Miles Sanders as a possible bridge. Now, let's put our pre-camp hats on, right? Looking at this roster, looking at this running back room, who is in and who is out? I want to see. I want to gauge Cowboys Nation. Let me know, who do y'all think is in and who do you think is out when it comes down to the back half of our running back room? Jadon's safe, I would say. Javonte is safe. Hunter will be safe, right, if you really want to count him. But outside of that, how many running backs are you going to keep? How many running backs are you going to keep on this roster? Because we had Rico last year, active, Zeke, and Hunter. So we had 3 active, right? Yeah, because Dalvin Cook was on PS, Deuce was inactive, right? Malik Davis was inactive. So they kept 2.5 with Hunter. All right? So let me know in the chat, who's your guy? Who was RB 2.5, I would say. I want to see what we all say. So I know the Phil Maffa maniacs. My guy Lowe says, Tuck, I'll say it again. Keep Williams, Sanders, Blue, and Lupke. Yeah, I think Williams, Sanders, Blue, and Lupke, I think that's going to play. I just think that the only way, and just like Just Blaze just said, right? The only thing that can save Deuce and Maffa would be special teams, right? The special teams will come into play. Maffa's not much of a special teamer. Miles Sanders isn't much of a special teamer. So you kind of have Deuce, but we also have wide receivers that can still do what Deuce does on special team. You know, like that's where the Trayshawn Holdens can come into play. That's where, you know, the Josh Kellys can come into play. So I wouldn't just keep Deuce for the sake of special teams, because you have other explosive players now. Where is he really that valuable? You know, the only thing I could possibly see, y'all, just like T-Jack says, if Sanders is the veteran cut where you can cut him and just bring him back, right? That way you can hold on to Maffa. That way you can hold on to Deuce, right? So I think that they could make Sanders the veteran cut. It might be a situation where Sanders is our Dalvin Cook, unfortunately, right? I can see that situation kind of to take part. My dog Rome in the building. Let's see here. My dog, this chat is moving so quick, I can't even catch it. My dog Rome in the building. Deuce can't play specials to me. Yeah, I mean, he's a contributor. He's not a game-changing special teamers, bro. Like, you can get what he does on special teams. Like, you can get tons of returners. You can get some of these cornerbacks. You can get some of these wide receivers to be returners. Like, you don't need Deuce alongside Javonte Turpin, you know? So I agree. I agree that I don't think that special teams would be enough to save Deuce this year. I think it's time that Deuce evolves as a running back. You know, we're just year 3 for Deuce, right? Year 3, right? You have your coach Connor Riley in house. You have Cooper Beebe. It's time. It's time to cut it, or you might gotta move on. So I think that what we're possibly looking at, Javonte Williams, Jadon Blue, Hunter Luepke stays, right? Hunter Luepke stays. Veteran cut, bring Miles Sanders back, and then Deuce and Phil Maffa make the roster and they are inactives, possibly. It might be a situation where they either cut Deuce or Maffa. I don't see them cutting Sanders. I really don't, because if you cut Sanders and let's say something happens with Javonte, you have no veterans. Now, you could just go get you a Nick Chubb and cut this list in half and be good. You know what I'm saying? You can just go cut this list. You can get rid of Deuce, Phil, and Sanders if you go get Nick Chubb, right? But will the Cowboys make that move now? Probably not. You know, there's talks about J.K. Dobbins going to the Broncos. And so some of these other guys are probably going to get snatched up before we get to camp. Yeah, bro. It's time. It's time. It was a cool story. I love Deuce. I love Deuce coming out of Kansas State, right? Dynamic player, good kid, good to be around. I met him a few times, right? So I understand the story when it comes to Deuce Vaughn. But hey, you gotta produce. Deuce has to produce. Rapping, bro. I might be rapping better than Lil Wayne right now. You know what I'm saying? I might be rapping better than Lil Wayne right now. Deuce has to produce. Right? Deuce has to produce. Show me something, broski. Gotta show me something. Salute to my dog, Coach Marv, with the super chat. Where'd it go? Hold on. It's zoomed in. Bang. Hold on. There you go. There you go. All right, bang. Salute to Coach Marv, real talk. Coach Marv out there in the building. Salute to my brother. Appreciate this super chat, man. $2 super chat. Appreciate Coach Marv, man. Definitely go to Coach Marv's channel. I see you cooking, Coach. Go run it up, man. But yeah, it's time for Deuce to produce. TZF, baby. You know what I'm saying? Please say the baby. If not, don't you say it at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I think it's a situation, but also, guys, like I said, when it comes to Javonte Williams, J-Dub, as you will, right? Overall, he hasn't had this season like he had post-injury, but he was kind of rotational, right? He was kind of rotational how he was used in the Denver Broncos offense, right? And we all remember that Broncos game when he ran all over us, So if you look at what Javonte Williams has done, this was the 2023 season when he was kind of used a little bit more, when he was 17th in carries, had 774 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, averaged 3.6 yards per carry for the Denver Broncos. So I feel like there's an opportunity where Javonte can really step in and maybe surprise a lot of people, right? Now, I'm not saying that he is going to lead the league in rushing and NFL teams are going to be afraid of him, but I think what the Cowboys are thinking when it comes to J-Dub, right, is that, hell, they got 1,000 yards last year with Rico, and that's even with the situation with their offense, Mike McCarthy, this and that, right? So I feel like with the scheme, with the new offensive line, and the new philosophy, they're thinking they can get 1,000 with J-Dub, which I would agree, right? And then you sprinkle in Jadon, right? You sprinkle in, Miles or Phil, right? Let them get 400, 500. That's 1,500 yards on the ground. Okay, and then you're good, right? Here is my concern when it comes to our running back room specifically, all right? I just don't see a guy who has a nose for the end zone. That's what scares me, right? That's what scares me is I just don't see a guy that has a nose for the end zone. Now, maybe one of the rookies can turn into that, right? But I just don't see it. And when Miles Sanders did, that was 2022, right? So you go back to last year, even though Rico had 1,000 yards, he wasn't getting in the end zone. And sometimes just getting down the red zone, whether you're at the 15 or whatever, you just need a guy that has a nose for it, right? And I don't want to say his name because I don't want to piss people off and Cowboys fans off on a Friday. But if there's one thing you could say about 21 or 15, he can get in that end zone. You know what I'm saying? He can get in that end zone. He can get in that end zone, right? So hopefully someone develops into that, because a guy with 3 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns here, that is not going to cut it in Dallas, right? We need a guy when we get in the red zone, because we know that red zone scoring has been our Achilles heel for so long. We need a guy that we can just, give him the ball and he's getting in there, right? So hopefully that will be the case. And Ace said, yeah, Phil Moff is a goal line back. Goal line back is a little bit different, right? Goal line, right? 4th and 1. I think that can be Hunter Luepke, right? You can Hunter Luepke that. I think Javonte can give you those, right? But I just mean in the red zone, 10 yards out, 12 yards out, that can simplify things, right? Come off a simple toss, get into the end zone, or like make people miss when things tighten up, right? We all remember the play when Tony Pollard was that versus the Dolphins on the toss and he got tackled short, right? There's some of those things. Even last year, even though Mike McCarthy was pro Rico, when it got to that red zone and Rico was fumbling, Zeke, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Zeke, go ahead and get in there, right? So that is something I'm going to be looking for, is a guy that has a nose for the end zone. But I think overall, if you do the running back by committee thing, I will say this as of now, and I know it's early, no pads on, but just gauging it, how I felt this year versus last year, our running back room is in a much better situation than it was last year. I'll say that. Our running back room is in a much better position this year than it was last year, right? Because I wasn't much of a Rico guy, right? Wasn't much of a Rico guy. And I was coined as the Zeke lover, but I had no other options because we didn't draft any running backs. You know what I'm saying? I was a Braylon Allen lover. I was a Isaiah Davis lover. I was a Bucky Irving lover. I was a Trey Benson lover. I was a lover of those guys. We didn't get any, so I had to become a Zeke lover because it was either Zeke or Royce Freeman. Those were my options. And I picked Zeke. Sue me. I chose Zeke over Royce Freeman. Oh, Tuck was a Zeke lover. I chose Zeke over Royce Freeman. Put it on my jacket, right? TP, Lukey, and DQ, the defense threw that game away. Was that the Miami game you're talking about? I think you're talking about the Miami game, Ace. Yeah, so I think overall, I think that is our running back room sexy where it's like, oh my God, look at our running back room. We can't be beat. We're going to run the damn ball. No, it's running back by committee. And I've been saying this, y'all. Running back by committee, it just isn't Dallas. You know what I'm saying? It just isn't Dallas. It just doesn't fit us. We need Tony Dorsett, Emmitt Smith, DeMarco Murray, Marion Barber, rest in peace, Ezekiel Elliott. When you think about the Dallas Cowboys, you think about the quarterback, but you also think about the running back position. Running back by committee just doesn't for us, right? But it sounds like as of right now, damn right, Tuck, Zeke all the way. That's what I'm saying, bro. All these people on Twitter, all these little bot accounts, Tuck wanted Zeke back. No. I even fought Boss Cowboy on bringing Zeke back. That was pro-draft. After the draft, I said, well, shit, bring Zeke back. It was Zeke or Royce Freeman. Those were my two options. I had the Carter 6. Shout out to Wayne. You know what I'm saying? But see, switching over to music, I tried to listen to Wayne's album today, right? So I'm a huge Wayne fan, right? Over Wayne, right? I got to the first 3 songs and said, nah, not today. Nah, no. And a lot of people get on to me when I say this on Twitter. Rappers are like athletes. When they get over 30, it's time to try something else. You know what I'm saying? Try something else. I'll ask y'all in the chat. Right? Let's talk. What hurts worse? Seeing your favorite athlete wash or your favorite rapper wash? And I keep going back and forth on this. You know what I'm saying? Seeing your favorite athlete washed or seeing your favorite rapper washed. They hurt. You know what I'm saying? I remember, Eminem. I used to love Eminem. I had Eminem posters on my wall. I can't listen to an Eminem. I can't listen to that shit no more, dog. Rapper. I see rapper. Everyone's saying rapper. Yeah, the rapper wash hurts, man. Leroy says athlete. Right, but rappers hurt. Rappers wash hurt. I remember seeing Benny Siegel get knocked out. That hurt my heart. Benny Siegel, for those of you who do not know, Benny Siegel was the most gangsters, gutterest rapper ever known to man, right? And then I had to see Beans get knocked out. Y'all ain't gonna tell me that I messed up on running back, left for in off. That's what I love about the community, right? Because sometimes you get some smart asses like, oh, you spelled running back wrong. My bad. I left the end off a running back. Let me fix it. I'll fix it. Because I posted on Twitter, I have a bunch of people saying Tuck spelled running back wrong, right? Let me go ahead and pull this up. I honestly should leave it as it is. I honestly should leave it as it is. But this I'm going to show y'all some of the magic, right? Show y'all the magic. So I misspelled running back. Wizard Jordan. Even Wyclef, when Dez went to Baltimore, Yeah, but see, the thing is we lucked out because Jerry Jones pulled the plug on Dez coming back and playing against the Dallas Cowboys twice. Dez got tested for COVID. You know what I'm saying? Dez got he'll tell you about that story. It's like it was so random that he just got popped for COVID when he was coming back to play against the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. But yeah, the locks will never be out of style. Yeah. I mean, the locks don't go out of style, but Jadakiss has hair now. You know what I'm saying? Jadakiss is like 50, I think. And Styles P is like selling like juices. Dipset, Joel Santana don't have his teeth anymore. Like, it's hard. Joe Budden's a podcaster. Cameron a podcaster. It's hard. It's hard. Jay-Z got dreads. 50 Cent was out of shape at the Super Bowl. It's just like, I know, it hurts seeing your favorite rappers wash, man. I don't know. I feel like Fabulous gets a pass because Fabulous just stays out the way. You know what I'm saying? Fabulous just stays out the way. But seeing your favorite rappers wash hurts, man. All right, back to football. Yeah, but I'm spoiler alert. I'm gonna save y'all Friday. Don't play that Lil Wayne shit. I'm gonna save y'all Friday. Don't even try. You know what I'm saying? I should post a Lil Wayne challenge and see if someone can listen to all 19 songs without pressing the skip button. You can't do it. Not unless you fall asleep. I was in the car like, switch, skip, nope. Nah, it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, you cannot listen to that Lil Wayne Carter 6 and not touch the skip button. You might, like you have like Pandora and you use your skips, you only get like 3 skips if you don't have the paid version. You will use your first 3 Pandora skips on the first 3 songs, and then you have to listen to commercials the rest of the way. You know what I'm saying? If you try to listen to Carter 6 on Pandora, you're going to waste your 3 skips for the whole day. You're going to waste your 3 skips, and you're going to be done. 50 Cent looking like a dollar menu. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's just, sometimes you got to let it go. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Tuck Wayne is the GOAT. I mean, Wayne is one of my favorite all-time rappers. He just has to go start a podcast. Right? I'm going to tell 2 people that need to start a podcast. Lil Wayne and Colin Kaepernick, bro. I need somebody to give Colin Kaepernick a StreamYard link, bro. Somebody give Kaepernick a StreamYard link. Somebody set Colin Kaepernick up with a Twitch channel. Somebody give Colin Kaepernick a Spotify account. Bro, it's time to become a podcaster, dog. I'm still staying. No, you're not. I'm still ready. Bro, do football camps, right? Do a podcast. Wayne and Kaepernick, why don't y'all both just do a podcast together? How about that? Because there's other stuff, it just ain't happening. All right, back to football. That's what I love about our community. We just vibe on a Friday. All right, Javonte Williams, lock him in. Jadon Blue, lock him in. Hunter Luepke, lock him in. The other 3, we'll have to see the camp. But looking at this roster, this room as it currently is constructed, Cowboys Nation, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are y'all feeling as far as your comfort level? How are you feeling as far as your comfort level is concerned? That's perfect. That's perfect, Big Flock. Wayne and Jewel's I Cannot Feel My Face podcast. There. Tuck just did all the work for you, Wayne. I just did all the work for you. I Cannot Feel My Face, the podcast. Don't even send me a check. Don't even send me a check. All right. Yep. So comfort level with the RB room, currently as is. Sean says 7.6. I don't know about the 6. I'll probably say a 7.5, right? I'll probably feel like a 7.5. If Blue can control that fumbling problem, the kid should be special. Yeah, I think he is, man. I think if there's anyone to give you that excitement out of this core, it's Jadon Blue, right? I mean, hell, if you go play college football, speaking of which, yo, EA Sports, I ain't getting no beta code. EA Sports, I ain't getting no beta code for CFB 26. EA Sports ain't got no love for J Tuck. You know how many people I done put in the dirt? Put Lou in the dirt. Put Henny in the dirt. Put Dez in the dirt. Put my whole damn Twitter timeline in the dirt in college football 25, and I can't get no beta code. Crazy. All right. Yeah, Blue, Phil, Hunter, and Deuce. I got it. You got questions? So Paul, you're thinking Blue, Maffa, Hunter, and Deuce? Those are your guys? You know what I'm saying? See? Lou, dog. Everybody's waiting on a rematch. And then people get their rematch. And then it's... Y'all should honestly just leave me alone right now on that game. The new one comes out next month. You know what I'm saying? And the new game, Lou, the new game comes out next month. Devin Neal will be gone. He will be gone. He's in New Orleans right now. It'll be safe. Yeah, if y'all were smart, y'all should just leave Tuck alone on College Football 25. Wait till the new game comes out. Wait till I have to play with another team. Wait till I gotta, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Tuck name dropping. I can go, I got a whole list of names. You know what I'm saying? The number 1 linebacker in next year's draft class, and Anthony Hill out of Texas. Yep, bodied. His game was crazy because I came back down from 21 in the fourth quarter. I was on some Halliburton stuff, you know what I'm saying, versus A. Hill, man, you know what I'm saying? The only person that beat me in that game and got to live and tell about it was Wanye. And Wanye got lucky because I was streaming on Twitch and I was talking to the chat and I blew my lead and I was playing with Florida State. And he never picked up sticks again. Wanye ran and he won, he left. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned Lou and he popped up. He heard it. His ears. Last second touchdown. Hey, you play to win the game, bro. You play to win the game. You play to win the game, Lou. You play to win the game, Lou. You know what I'm saying? Sean, you want to run it? My gamer tag is TZ Does It, man. But everybody asks for Tuck on that game until they get him. You know what I'm saying? I've been kind of just chilling out. You know what I'm saying? So back to let's focus on a Friday for a little bit before I turn the phone lines on. So when it comes to y'all comfort level, I see 7.5. I see negative. Low says negative, right? What's y'all comfort level when it comes to his running back core? I feel like I'm probably at 6.5 or 7. Right. I feel like we can get the job done. Right. Just like Paul said, hit the like button. Hit the like button. You know. I feel like we get the job done, but I want people to fear our running back room, and I just don't think there's anyone to fear yet, right? If there's anyone that can bring the fear factor, it's going to have to be Jadon Blue, but we shall see, right? It might be a situation, I keep telling Jadon Blue, like with Bucky Irvin. It took Bucky Irvin a minute to start getting those reps, but you started slowly seeing it happen. You know, I think the same thing is going to be for Jadon Blue as well. But if there's anyone that's going to like, okay, we have to game plan for this guy, it's going to be Jadon Blue. Yeah, it depends on the offensive line. Yeah, offensive line scheme, you know, all that, right? You know, blocking up front, you know, not abandoning the run, giving the proper touches, not getting behind early. You know, all those things really go into play. But I think that we have a good core, but I'm kind of skittish on is good going to be good enough. But we will see because we're going against one of the number one run defenses in the Philadelphia Eagles opening night. So we'll see who's able to cut through, and we'll definitely be able to dive into that film. So, you want to spend the last back half of the 30. Don't keep y'all too long. I know it's Friday. Y'all ain't got no job. Y'all ain't got nothing to do. Like I said, for our members, we got new emotes in there, right? New emotes, new badges, all that fun stuff. And I'll be launching my sports bets in the group chat for the members only section. So like I said, sign up if you want. And then go ahead and give me a call. Let's talk it up, Cowboys Nation, real quick for about 30 minutes. 530-399-4100. 506-9493 pound, right? And then talk to Cowboys Nation. Keep the questions flowing. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, Ballerina is dope though. Ballerina, go see Carter 6. Don't even think about it. I want to see Booker pair again with Jalen. That's going to be a battle, right? And I think Booker's going to be prepared for it too. I'm excited to see Booker, right? It's funny, like I said yesterday, right? Team weapons, team trenches was back and forth, but we both got the job done. You know what I'm saying? We both got the job done, you know? So I'm excited to see for Tyler Booker, right? But just like I said for Tyler Guyton last year, be patient when it comes to Tyler Booker, right? Be patient when it comes to Tyler Booker. I know it's going to want instant success, instant impact, and all that stuff, right? But we still need to be patient. Let me move this up just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, we got a caller. Bang, bang, bang. Oops. Hey. Yo, caller, state your name. Where you from?
Hey, this is D Shit from the Pro 9, bro.
Hey, what's going on with you, dog?
Not much, man. Just listening to you talk about the running back position and the room as a whole, and I guess the only optimism I'm kind of clinging to at this point, because like you said, like it just felt like a whole bunch of mid in the running back room. But I think where the one thing that we might have to try to compete, that's the goal, right? To try to compete with the contenders.
Mm-hmm.
I know last year has put us kind of thirsty just to make the playoffs, but you know, I remember, you know, when we had them 3-12-5, winning divisions and all that, that wasn't good enough. So the goal is to contend, right?
Right.
So just to stay on track with that, I think we didn't have a Pickens type. You know what I mean? You get Dak back. You run an offense that's not so predicated on him throwing 50 passes a game.
Mm-hmm.
Against really good pass rushing teams. And so you have that. You don't have, you know, Zach Martin just out there just aging out. Let's see what Terrence Steele hopefully can bounce back older guy and older BB.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the offensive line, I know we were kind of probably we're kind of a little overly optimistic about the offensive line last year. You know, you getting the first round pick. You know, we was excited about what BB could do potentially at center. Maybe we felt like, you know, we ain't losing so much. You know, trying to replace Biotish. And, you know, we were kind of excited about getting actually a powerful center versus having that athlete and what Biotish was. So we were probably a little overly optimistic on the offensive line last year. But we didn't, honestly, man, we didn't know that Zach Martin was as bad as he was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I think the smart fan base, you guys, you know, kind of just the core of the community, the podcast community. I know y'all always talk about just moving into how we move on, you know, kind of trying to move on from a Zach Martin. I think that's been some not that Zach Martin particularly, but just players like that. We've been trying to get ahead, and that's not just the way the Cowboys do business. Unfortunately, they just hold on to guys a little too long. Maybe it's loyalty. I'm not sure. But we didn't know Zach Martin was off as bad as he was. And so, man, if Booker can come in and be basically what – I mean, I need Booker to do what Zach Martin did his rookie year if we're going to contend with the contenders. You know, if not, yeah, I'll be patient, man. You know, we ain't got to rush this thing too much. But if we're going to contend, we're going to try to just play against the Eagles. Yeah, we need Tyler Booker to step up and be kind of what Zach Martin was his rookie year. Just off top, you just about to be just on the cusp of being an all-pro player. We need BB to take that second step. You remember how good Frederick was from his rookie year to that going into that second year, and Tyler Smith to just continue to be that all-pro guy. And Tyler Guyton can step up, and maybe Tyler Guyton and still, you play with an elite offensive line with Doug Free. You know what I'm saying? And Doug Free on the back end of his career at that. So, I mean, you just hopefully the offensive line, man, like talent-wise, that can kind of overcome some things to where you got a healthy Dak. He has weapons. He has an offensive line that he can lean on. And, you know, hopefully these guys can just kind of, you know, somebody fight it out, man. Maybe Miles Sanders might. I think he might emerge, man, honestly.
Miles Sanders?
I'm not a type. Yeah, like I don't really I lean on y'all, you know what I'm saying, to look at the film, break it down. Biggest thing I'm gonna go look at highlight plays, right? And that's kind of a no-no. But what I try to look at is just the quality of that play. And like if I'm looking at a highlight reel where a person has to continue to like replay the same play, that's one thing. But also keep in mind Miles didn't have too many touches in Carolina.
Right.
So I'm kind of curious about how he can come back and maybe he can jump back to form what he did with the Eagles. He's not that old of a back.
Right. He's only 28. Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know the extent of what the injury history was in Carolina. But I just find it hard to believe that. I mean, you've seen so many players go to bad teams and you thinking that they lost it, and as soon as they go to a better than decent team, you know what I'm saying, they strike fire again.
Right.
So I'm thinking the same might be the same with Miles. Like I think somebody can. I think you have a good enough offense to where a running game can emerge. You know what I'm saying? I think we just got to play it that way. You know, we got to be good enough as much of a threat offensively with the weapons to scare enough people to where they can give us some boxes that ain't totally full. Because at the end of the day, the Eagles have to play that way. They weren't able to just lean on Saquon in the Super Bowl because, you know what I'm saying, the Chiefs, they were just trying to stop the run. And so we have the team like to be able to do what the Eagles did, but we got to make people to believe that they got to sell out against this run.
Right.
Or we got to be good enough with our weapons to where, you know, the run can kind of sneak in and just wear people out.
Exactly.
So definitely complimentary football, man. You ain't going to be just leaning on Dak for sure.
Right. Yeah, and I agree. And we've been hearing it, you know, all offseason since Brian Schottenheimer's been hired, is complimentary football, marrying the passes with the run game and all the good things. But what we have to sit back and see is when things really hit the fan in live action bullets, will that remain true? And, you know, and talking about Miles Sanders, and this might be a video I might do. I can't do it tomorrow because I got some plans. But this weekend or maybe Monday, is that I haven't really looked to see, okay, was there a fall off in skill set, right? And you mentioned it. Sometimes in Carolina, you just didn't get the carries you were considering, but was it a fall off in talent? Did he lose a step? Right? Was he slower? Was there an injury that, like, what derailed it? And so we can kind of sit back and see, like I said, even though it's 2022, if you can get half of that Miles Sanders in Dallas as your RB2, then that's definitely a boost, right? So it's like we got to go and sit back and see. And I honestly haven't really dove in that deep. I kind of just watched this film from last year, and it was kind of just like, he wasn't really even doing anything because they wasn't giving him an opportunity. But I want to find out and research what was the reason why. Was it injuries? Was it just they didn't feel confident in him? The list goes on and on. But I definitely think he's a guy that still has some uptick. Only 28 years old. He had some bursts. We all saw in Philly, can catch out the backfield. He's shifty enough to make people miss. And so he's a good quality veteran rotational back. I think that Dallas Cowboys can definitely use in their offense.
And he hasn't been used up a lot, too. Like, he has less than, 200 carries in these past 2 years.
Right. Right.
So he's pretty fresh. And also, man, if you look at, Zeke's production 1 year versus Tony Pollard's production, you'd have been like, oh, boom, Zeke. Tony Pollard wasn't that good because he couldn't get over Zeke, but we know the situation was they were just playing the money guy.
Right.
So it might have been a little bit of that too. Maybe knowing that, hey, Chuba Hubbard, he's the future, so we got to give him the carries to keep him happy. And Miles, we just can't put you in. So they might have put him on the shelf. I mean, Brandon Cooks, to some extent, his first year, he just wasn't getting the touches.
Right.
So I think maybe it was more of that. I just can't believe that Miles Sanders just saying he just can't give you he ain't on no Royce Freeman type level because we've seen Miles do it before.
Right.
Exactly.
That's
the bet, man. I appreciate you, bro.
All right, my guy, man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for your support, man. Have a good Friday and good weekend.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I 1000% agree. I wasn't feeling the Royce Freeman thing last year. It was just like, so yeah, I had, what I'm saying? It was a Ziggy, my sister says, I'm glad I never got into rap music. Hey, to each his own, sis, but it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's a vibe. What do you listen to then, sis? You probably listen to what? I don't know, gospel, something like that. There's a lot of dope gospel rappers out there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of dope gospel rappers out there too. I've listened to them in the gym as well. Yo, caller, state your name. Where you from?
Hey, it's Deshaun again.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Before we get started in football, I'm not going to play you NCAA 25. I always at 26, but I'm going to get you.
I heard it all before. You know what I'm saying? I get it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's hard being, but here's what people got to understand about me when it comes to college football, right? I've been doing it for years. I've been back in the day when I was in the dorm rooms. I played college. Everybody else played Madden. I was a college guy. I love playing college. I liked back in the day it was Reggie Bush and they had Mike Williams with that offense and then you had the Oregon. I used this going crazy on college. So when it came out last year, I just kind of just knew how to get down. You know what I'm saying? But so many people has tried me and they just fell short, and Terrence Parsons tried, Henny's tried, Luke called me out, right? Everybody calls me out, and they're like, damn, bro. Tuck really with it. You know what I'm saying? Now I do have my friend James, right? Honestly, James ain't good at the game, bro. But he's good at glitching. He knows all the glitch plays, so he knows his play that it makes your cornerback freeze up. So I can't. So he beats me, right? So he'll brag online. I just can't figure it out because I haven't found online how to stop this play. But when people really want to line up and just play ball, you know what I'm saying, I can really hold it down. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just wait till 26. Got 1 month. Got 1 month, bro.
I got you. I'll play you in 26, and I know the glitch plays too. Don't worry. Before I play you, I'll figure out everything else.
Bet.
All right, but yeah, I'm gonna get you there. Hey, I'm the type of person. Once I beat you, I'm retired.
Yeah. See, so you like Wanye, bro. You like Wanye, dog. Hey, I need everybody. I need everybody to go online and tell number 2 to run me my fade back, bro. Run me my fade back. Everybody go tag Wanye and say, stop hiding from Tuck, bro. Stop hiding from Tuck. So.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay. All right. Just here. So the situation I have with the running back, I'm not gonna lie. When they, and there's no shot at Jordan Blue, but when they said Jordan Blue and Devin Neal was there, I fell to my knees. I dang near cried. I said, yo, why? I was like, why did y'all do this to me? Because it was like I wanted a running back, and I get what they were going. Like, we were all complaining. Everybody was so mad about the situation for weapons, and they wanted somebody with speed, which, okay, understandable. But I wanted a complete back. I wanted somebody who can go in, like you said, put fear in people. And that's what you want. You want somebody to be respected. You can have a great offensive line all day, Tuck.
Mm-hmm.
But if that offensive line if everything's blocked, but that one person come and I need you to make that one person miss, or I need you to make that one person make a play, I need that running back to make that play or make that miss.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like it's going to take Blue a minute to like really gel and get in, because you got to realize he was in Texas and he was not even the starter.
Right.
He was the backup.
He was the backup because they had another
guy.
guy in Baxter who yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this big boy football, they're not gonna play nice with you. They will bury you. Like Deuce Vaughn learned that very quick. This ain't Kansas City, bro. They will put you in the dirt and make sure you stay down there. So like speed is help, but Tuck, I like body punches. Like so you're in boxing right now, right? So you can tell me
right.
What's more effective, just headshots all day and not really connecting, or trying to have like a one big haymaker, or constantly body shots throughout the 12 rounds.
Right.
Which one's more effective?
Those body shots hurt, bro. The body shots hurt. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And you need a defense to field them body shots.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they don't, they can be like, okay, cool, we gave up a touchdown. We'll see you next series. Mm-hmm. Like it's cool to have that, but I like Brian said, I want physicality. I want to be like the 49ers. Mm-hmm. I want to bully you. I want you to know that we're coming down your throat and you cannot do anything about it. I want the 2014 Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Like the one where we said, hey, shoot, you know we run it, but I don't care. You know we run it. You know we're going to beat you up, right?
Right.
I want that type of physicality, because what it does, it wears teams out. And imagine in a playoff game, imagine you're doing this constantly over and over and over again to teams. What happens is you go into the Philly situation where it's like, man, we gotta stop this. We gotta stop this run game. If we don't, they're gonna kill us.
Right.
Okay, bet. Stop this run game. Hey, Pickens. Hey, CD. Y'all got that one-on-ones. Let's go have some fun.
Right. Yeah. And I agree. I agree. I was saying this last year. We all know what the Baltimore Ravens did for us. They just like lined up and just ran on us because they could. I don't even think the Dallas Cowboys had the personnel or the mindset to do that to a team if they wanted to, right? And I think that's what concerns me. And just like you're saying, bro, is that who is going to put fear in it? Because if I'm Philly, right, if I'm game planning, if I'm Vic Fangio game planning for the Dallas Cowboys week 1, right, I'm saying, okay, we got to stop Pickens and we got to stop CD. So we have to take away the pass and let them try to beat our front on the ground. You see what I'm saying? Like that's when you have a dynamic running back where you can't do that. Like, let's say if we did have Derrick Henry, you can't say, oh, okay, we're going to take away CeeDee Lamb and see if Derrick Henry can be. It's like, hell no. You have to scheme for that. But as of right now, if I'm looking at this roster, all right, man, if Javonte Williams goes for 142 yards and 3 touchdowns and beats us on the road opening night, then so be it. We can't let Pickens and CD beat us, right? So I still feel like there's going to be that question mark when it comes to our running back room until they go out there and prove themselves. And I think it might take a minute, just to be honest with y'all.
I'm going to say something a lot of people ain't going to like. You know, the number one person that scares me more than anybody is Dak. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I feel like, I'm going to tell you why. Dak feels like he has to be a superhero at times. And that's what kind of gets us stuck into game situations. That's another reason why it's so important to have a name beside him. Because if people don't remember, when Dak first came in, he came in with Zeke. So that was like his best friend, his best bud, and everything. He relied on Zeke. He's like, bro, if I'm in a situation, I'll hand this thing off to Zeke and you go work. Like, can Williams go do that? Can Blue go do that? Because in Dak's mind, unless you prove yourself in a situation, in a tough environment where our back's against the wall, and you know we got to fight our way out of it. Can I hand it to my running back and my offensive line? Can they carry me down to a game? Because not every game is gonna be perfect for that. Can this scheme? Can this everything else carry it? And that's what scares me, because I know Dak's mentality. He's gonna think, well, damn, they can't do it. So let me go ahead and try to be Superman and try to sit up and throw it to Pickens and throw it to and Lamb and throw it to this, and then that's where turnovers start coming into play.
Yeah, and this is why I think DMV was talking about this, and I spoke about it, I know Boss did as well, right? This is why I wanted to spend a premium pick on a running back. Because let's say, for instance, Jadon Blue isn't getting the touches, right? Let's say he only gets about 4 to 5 touches. Well, you're not really risking anything. But if you were to spend a second-round pick on, let's say, Quinshon Judkins or something like that, right, there's going to be a sense of urgency to use that running back. So it's going to be hard until I see it with my own eyes, to be honest with y'all, for Dak to get a big deal, come off an injury. You just signed CeeDee Lamb to a mega deal. You just traded a premium draft pick and brought in George Pickens, and let's say Dak throw the ball 15 times a game and we hand it off 25, right? I just don't see that being the case. And so until I'm proven otherwise, I'm still going into this season where we're a pass first team and the run is secondary, especially if we go out there and like you said, bro, the run is getting stuff, earlier on the road. And let's say we go out there and get a 3 and out and Philly scores. Dak is going to, here we go, up out that and start passing the ball, right? And I think that's just, kind of how we're kind of trying to go into this thing built to score points. Wide receiver core, Jake Ferguson, and the run game might be secondary. So I really think Cowboys fans should brace themselves, but we'll have to sit back and wait and see how it all unfolds.
And then my final thing is that as much as I'm concerned on the offensive side, defense scares me more than offense do.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I'll go back to that defensive tackle position, the cornerback position. It's like what really irritates me, Tuck, is that they always want to be around that rim. Like, dunk that mother sucker in. Like, dunk it in. Because it's we're getting to the point where the Eagles, the Commanders, the Giants, they're not going to sit there and let you punk them all the time. I want to say the other way. But let you punk them all the time. Because it's like, bro, it gets to a point where they're not going to keep just letting us, okay, Dallas beat us by 30 again. Dallas beat us by this amount. They're not going to keep doing it.
Right.
They're going to say, okay, now what do we need to get to start punching back? And if you don't have them qualities to punch back, we're gonna be in the receiving end where you bet 7.5, and we underneath the 7, we lose money for it.
Right. And also,
because they didn't want to.
And also thinking about this, right? And I know Cowboys Nation don't want to have this conversation, but hey, the caller is asking to talk about it, so it ain't me, right? The one thing that used to separate us in our division and cause fear amongst our division rivals was the separation that we had the quarterback position over the other quarterbacks. Dak was better than Wentz, right? Dak was better than Jones. Dak was better than Sam Howell, whoever. Right now, the Eagles, they're flying on high off the back of their quarterback, whether you love them or hate them. You have Jaden Daniels. So that big separation of fear that we used to have over division rivals, there's nothing to really be too afraid of when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, because they're like, okay, they got Dak, but I got Jaden Daniels. They got Dak, but I got Hurts, right? And our defense isn't as godly because we figured out if they're not getting turnovers, they're not as scary as it seems, right? If we can stay out of these passing downs, these long 3rd and 7s where Micah can peel back his ears and, kind of come after us, and we put the ball out in situations and tight windows where Deron Blands can jump it, then the Dallas Cowboys defense isn't as scary as it seems. So I think it's going to be time for the Dallas Cowboys to go out there and reinvent themselves, right? Maybe be that tough physical team like you spoke about when it comes to San Francisco. Now be that team that, hey, we going to stop the run. You're not just going to sit here and, so they're going to have to change who they used to be, because I don't think teams are going to fear that anymore. Because when Micah came out and said when we were scoring 30 and 40 a game, teams couldn't run against us, bro, that's a horrible mindset to be in, that you have to score 35 points in order to win ball games. That should not be the expectation at any level of football. So hopefully that changes, but we have to sit back and wait and see.
But, all right. Thanks, Jake.
All right, my dog. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you.
My dog Lou, man. Dog Lou says, if Dak here he goes into them runs, he said he is going to flame Dak, bro. Prepare for it. Dak is coming off of injury, not playing all last year. trying to prove he's worth the deal. New offensive coordinator, play caller, who's kind of rookie, right, is going to pretty much put it all on Dak's shoulders, Lou. He might not, like, they're getting rid of the here we go, but he going to Denver, or whatever the new play call is, right out them runs and air that thing out. You know what I'm saying? Soon as he sees it, he going to. I mean, it just is what it is, man. Prepare yourself for it. Lou, you go ahead and take on that role because I want Dak. When it comes to Cowboys Nation, you can't critique Dak, right? If you critique him, the haters come out, you know what I'm saying? And then the people who overprotect Dak, they're like, I'm just like, y'all got it. Dak is untouchable when it comes to content on my side because he can't do nothing. You know, Hey, caller, state your name. Where you from? Yep.
Good with it, Tuck.
What's going on? What's going on with you, bro?
This I'm chilling. This Trill 2 times.
Oh, what's going on with you, dog?
In the chat. I was just calling in and give a few ideas, let you see how I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and talk to me. What you thinking, bro? How you feeling?
For one, to answer your question, I get a running back room, an 8 and a possible.
Okay.
Because they're gonna have to be too high. They're gonna have to do too high because we actually have a deep threat now, a big deep threat, not a short deep threat. Because what we had was short deep threat, short fast guys. You can't play cover 3 no more. And you can't just triangle CD Lamb no more.
Right.
That's gonna be a problem.
Right.
The offense didn't get no respect these last few years. The only time we did have respect was when Amari Cooper was on the team and Michael Gallup, but they barely played together. Let's see. I don't really think the running back room will be as bad as you think because Muffa went to Clemson, and Clemson isn't a bad school, and he ran the ball exactly how James Conner ran the ball. I can't say it'll be on the NFL level, but with our gap schemes that we're imposing, I think Muffa, Blue, and Williams will be pretty good for us. And if one of them get hurt, throw Deuce in there. Ain't nobody coming to get Sanders. Throw Sanders in there. And I just want to say I love the show, man. I rock with all y'all.
Appreciate
J-Tub, I mean, with just you. I rock with your boy. I rock with Lou. I listen to everybody, man. Don't retire, man. Keep it going, man.
See, y'all don't want me to retire. Y'all want to be old and rapid, saying like Wayne. Y'all want me to go out like Lil Wayne, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, you got to learn to lead. I don't know, man.
I don't want you to go out like Wayne. I want you to go out like the old-ass white dude that be on the Dallas Cowboys, the Blitz show. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, man. Y'all want me to be 72, man? Still breaking down film, bro. Okay, all right, man.
Hey, we love it here, man.
Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, man,
I ain't have no love, we wouldn't be here. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts, bro. Facts, man. Well, I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, I'm gonna keep doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? But I want to make sure I lead on top. I ain't trying to go out like Wayne when y'all sit here and watching my show, like, man, what the hell is Tuck talking about? He over here falling asleep on the stream, you know what I'm saying? He pressing the wrong buttons, like, I don't know what I'm saying. So we'll see, man. But like what Kanye used to say, don't leave while you're hot. That's why how May screwed up. So it's like, okay, I get that, man. So I'm going to continue to rock with y'all, Cowboys Nation, and bring y'all that fire content because I appreciate rocking with y'all, man. So.
Hey, listen, I got 2 more points. My little cousin to rock your shit in the NCAA, man.
You know what I'm saying? Now them young kids, like, so I guarantee you, bro, them young kids, because like like me, bro, I don't play in tier 1. You know what I'm saying? I don't play in tier 1. You know, I like to play in tier 3. I like to play with like my draft picks. Like I be playing with RJ Harvey and them. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, right? But these young kids, it's all Alabama, all Ohio State, it's all Texas. And I'm learning when you have to play with them young kids, it's a completely different game. So he might be able to get it, but hey man, I'm a grown ass. I ain't ran for no smoke when it comes to NCAA. So line them up and I'll put them down. So
hey, listen, I play 2K. Anybody want to play me? It's King Trill 1117. I'm like that.
See, but, man, I used to love 2K, dog. I used to love 2K, but then when you get older, bro, like all my friends wasn't online. I used to go to the park, you know what I'm saying? You can't get picked up. You play with people who don't pass, and you know what I'm saying? So I kind of just gave up on 2K. You know what I'm saying? I used to be on 2K heavy, but I gave up on it because if you ain't got no squad on there, I can't be running with no random, especially at the rec. You know what I'm saying? So like, nah.
I like playing with the randoms because the versatile my game. I got to figure out how I'm gonna play, you know. And then when I get with my squad, I know, oh yeah, I'm really a beast. Yeah, okay. I got people I can count on. But when I ain't got people I can count on, long story short, I'm nice in 2K.
All right, dog.
But
what to see? You had to see.
To you, but listen, hold up, one more thing. I forgot to say this. The offensive line will monetize all these running scheme teams with decent quarterbacks with great wide receivers. Our offensive line will monetize what they do to us. I don't think they can just run on us no more. I don't think they could just sit back and just let Dak throw the ball to CD no more. Right. I really think our run game will be popping because of our wide receivers, and our wide receivers gonna make our run game popping.
Facts.
But I get what you're saying.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, man. All right, man. Tell your little cousin if you want to run it. I'm a grown man, dog. I'm a grown man. All right, bro. Have a good one.
Yeah.
The conference has been locked.
Yo, appreciate y'all, man, for all the calls, man. I'm going to go ahead and lock the chat. Like I said, it's Friday. I don't want to keep y'all too long. And I got a surprise day from my wife. I told she took me zip lining last weekend. So now it's my turn. So we got a surprise tomorrow. She don't even know what we're doing. I can't say it right now because she's probably in the chat. Sis, appreciate this super chat. $20 super chat from my sis, Sadika. Just because I love what you do, my brother Tuck. Give mommy Tuck and wifey my regards in the family period. Chat room, get these likes up. Appreciate you, sis. Yeah, they're doing good. Where's Mama Tuck? She's at the house chilling right now. She's at the house chilling. Wifey's upstairs doing something, probably about to watch her TV shows. She's finally getting to enjoy her summer. You know, as a principal, they don't really get no summer break, so she's kind of been scrambling a little bit. So yeah, she's about to do that, and I'm probably just about to go. Probably about. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, I saw my dog smoke. I saw my dog smoke. Hold on. Where my dog Smoke, man? He is saying that I was afraid to run. Smoke, dog, you already know, bro. I ain't ducking no smoke. I ain't ducking no smoke on college football 2025, man. So I'm probably about to go eat here in a second, and I might be on the stream. You know what I'm saying? I might be on playing some college football 25 as we gear it for 2026. It's kind of good to have some football, you know what I'm saying? And now that you don't have to go through that drought without having no games or anything, you kind of just carries throughout the course of the summer. So I'm excited for college football 26. You know, I'm sitting here about to watch some videos on it. Used to play Madden, don't play Madden anymore. You know, Madden looks good. I saw the reveal trailer, but ain't no point for me to play Madden no more. Ain't no point. I'm college football from here on out. You know, I love the atmosphere. I love the environment. I love not having to play with the Saints. Because when I play Madden, I'm going to put y'all on a secret. All right? Tuck is going to tell y'all this. Even the Dallas Cowboys players don't play with their own team on Madden. Even the Dallas Cowboys, bro, I play some of y'all favoriteest Dallas Cowboy players on this roster who I will not name. They all play with the Chiefs. They played with the Lions. They played with the Ravens. Some's even played with the Packers. Some's even played with Philly. I am the only one who plays with the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Nope. So that's why I like playing college football, because I can play with different teams. As long as I got my playbook, I can run it with anybody. I can run my playbook with Alabama, Ohio State, to West Virginia, to Chattanooga, you know what I'm saying, or Coastal Carolina, right? Because I got my playbook. But yeah, they don't. So CD plays with Cincy. You know, they don't be playing. And I'm like, here I am trying to be loyal, play y'all with y'all, and y'all don't even want to play with your damn selves. You know what I'm saying? Here my dumb ass is out here trying to cover with Josh Butler. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and run the ball with Rico Dowdell. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah. So I like playing college football. But yo, appreciate everyone for tuning in. Comment to the like, do all that stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. CFO gang. Like I said, we got the memberships. We got the emojis loaded all up in the chat now. We're going to get some more cooked up this weekend. Building the brand new website. So we're going to have our merch all up. Got some crazy merch ideas, hats, all that stuff. A lot of people ask me about that CFO gang hat, the upside down one. So we're going to get that all ready for you guys, man. So appreciate y'all rocking with me. We're going to get into the defense. I want to get through offense first because that's kind of the least of my concerns. I feel like offense will be all right. But defense, y'all, is going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work. And we'll get to defense probably not next week, and probably maybe when I come back from Cabo, that's when we'll get to the defense. But we'll focus on offense here. Got a show with Lou. Lou Takes next Friday at 6 p.m. So I'll be streaming with my dog Lou. I have a show this Sunday. I'm doing a show with the Dallas Cowboys, Brazil. America's team, now we're international. So the Dallas Cowboys has some content creators in Brazil. So I'll be doing a show with them on Sunday. So yeah, we're going to continue to work. You know what I'm saying? We're going to continue to work, have fun, and enjoy what we do. And my gamer tag is, my PSN is, here, I'll type in the chat. That's my PSN for all the people who want to get smoked tonight. Now, don't let me ruin y'all weekends, because I send numerous people upstairs to their wives, upset, frustrated, mad, kicking over stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't feed their kids. Don't let Tuck mess up your weekend on college football. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoy yourselves and wait a month till the new game comes out. That's all you got to do. I promise you, Devin Neal will not be on the game. I promise you, he won't be on. Jalen Milroe will not be on the game. You will be safe. Y'all will be safe. You got to wait almost a month. You know what I'm saying? You got to wait almost a month. My dog, a CFT for the raid, bro. Appreciate it. Hey, Paul, I'm just looking out. I wouldn't be a good friend if I wasn't looking out and I let people jump on the sticks and play me in this game on a Friday night, and I mess up their whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? And I mess up their whole weekend because it sounds cool until it's bombs over Baghdad, man. So appreciate y'all. Comment, like, subscribe, follow the content. Follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. And whenever, stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and let's go win a championship.